Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Smith here, the amputee cyclist, about to do the Grava Del Fuego, Wichita Falls Hotter Than 100 route. But it's May 29th. I'm by myself. I came here, parked my van, slept last night, and now it's about 7 o'clock, May 29th, 2022. So we're in front of the hub. The actual race starts like right here. We're on the starting line, and we're gonna head down Indiana going that way. But I just wanted to practice sleeping in my van. That's something I've got another big race coming up in Kansas, and so I'm gonna have to drive there and sleep in my van. So this is a little practice run for me. I'm only 80 miles from home, but it lets me know my vehicle's working right, at least good enough to go 80 miles. I'm gonna have to drive 375 to get to Kansas where my race is. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all kind of a brief. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit, but I'm gonna try to show you this Grava Del Fuego route. I'm not gonna show you everything, because that would be like, for me, 7 hour ride or 6 hour ride, because I am an above the knee amputee, missing my right leg above the knee joint. For those of you who don't know me, I also do have metal in that leg, and I'm out here on a standard mountain bike. I've done this route before. I did it in 2019. I did the Chupacabra 200, 101 mile road race, plus this 67 mile gravel ride, mainly gravel. But yeah, we're in the beautiful town of Wichita Falls Sunday morning, and there's pretty much nobody out right now. So without further ado, let's do this ride. The Grava Del Fuego in Wichita Falls, Texas. It starts in Wichita Falls, Texas. It actually goes through Petrolia, a little town called Byers, a few other little unincorporated areas. But yeah, when the gun goes off, you'll head down this street, you'll go down to the end, you turn right, you go through town a little bit, and ultimately you will end up back at the starting line, the same place you started. You just do a big loop. Now when you do the Grava Del Fuego, if you do this route in the organized fashion in Wichita Falls at the end of August, it'll be hotter, but it'll be evening time. Morning time is what we've got right now. Today is actually going to be a 100-degree day. That's what the forecast says. So even though it's May 29th, it's gonna be hot, because we're gonna end up riding during the hottest part of the day, whereas the Grava Del Fuego goes into the night. So this ride is gonna be actually hotter and windier than the Grava Del Fuego night ride. But this way we can see what it's really like, you know, see the scenery. Most of the route is in the pitch dark of night on race day, and so you won't really be able to see what we're gonna see today. On race day, you won't be able to see everything we get to see today. Now that's pretty neat. We can go right under that railroad track that we just went under. That is a big game changer. It's because you don't have to wait on a train. A lot of communities, they don't have a way around these railroad tracks. Like where I live in Gainesville, Texas, there's only one way to get over the railroad, and it's a huge detour. So this is good. You'll be able to sail right under it regardless of whether or not there's a train. The weather pattern creates just this hot bubble right over Wichita Falls. Even though it's going to be 100 degrees here today, May 29th, it's not going to be that hot, I don't think, anywhere else in Texas. Even 80 miles to the east of here where I live, you don't deal with nearly as much heat. It's going to be 10 degrees least 10 degrees cooler in Gainesville, Texas, where I live today. So it's just a hot area, hot area. Got a nice shoulder right here. They actually have designated bike lanes here. This is a very bicycle friendly community. Even got a bicycle with arrows showing you which way to go on this route. When you do the actual Grava Del Fuego race, it'll probably be about this light right here. But you won't have much time before it gets dark. That's all I'm saying. And all that darkness starts about when the gravel starts, or not far after the gravel starts. It just depends on how fast you are. Well, I took a wrong turn here, so I'm gonna go back and take the right turn. Gotta watch your GPS. So the road we've been riding down has been Martin Luther King Boulevard, and I'm just gonna stay on it. We actually turn up here where that car turned. All right, here we go. So this road is called Flood Street, F-L-O-O-D. And you stay on Flood Street for a while basically until it makes a T at the end, and you'll turn right. Interesting murals they have here in Wichita Falls. Here's one right here. It's a pretty big artistic accomplishment that the community gets to enjoy. All right, I can see the dead end up here, or T, where we're gonna turn right. This ride is gonna be just, I mean, I'm not pushing myself too much really at all. This ride doesn't have many hills. I think there's like 17 or 1800 feet of climbing over the course of 67 miles, which is pretty flat compared to what I'll be doing next Saturday, 6 days from today. That race is 205 miles long. We'll have about 10,000 feet of climbing. So the main purpose of this ride is just to make sure I've got things dialed in. I don't normally ride with a big jug of water on the back of my bike. I've got a big gallon jug of water for extra hydration capacity. I've got a lot of weight, you know. I've got to carry everything that I'll need on that 205-mile race. So I'm practicing carrying all that stuff, really, which I've been slowly building up practicing, but finally I've got everything, and I wanted to just go all the way and even drive somewhere and live in my van, so I can get a feel for exactly how it's going to be as far as just sleeping overnight, getting up in the morning, and getting ready to go. So there are a few kinks. I'm glad I did this today, because there's some pretty murals on that retaining wall right there. I'm glad I'm doing it because you know, there's a few things that aren't perfect, like my Camelback backpack, hydration pack. I'd packed all this hydration powder and protein bars in the bags. Well, I packed so many of those in the bags that I couldn't fit my water bladder into the bag. So that's something I wouldn't have known. And then, you know, if I hadn't done this, I would have figured out that's a problem on race day, which isn't the day to figure that out. And so now that I got it figured out, I can fix it before I actually have to be like on the starting line in a week. And then there are a few other things too. just as far as like scheduling, like what time do I need to wake up, what do I need to have ready when I wake up, and how long is it going to take me to get ready to be on the starting line and ready to go when you're living in a van, which I don't have any experience doing. So now I've got one night of experience in one morning, so you learn a lot from that when it's your first time to do it. And I did learn when I should wake up in the morning for that race. So Grava Del Fuego route though, y'all, that's what we're looking at now. No gravel yet. Oh, but it is coming. It is coming, my friends. They got a big dog over there, but they had it under control because you could tell like one of those guys actually was a cyclist. And living on a road like this, so close to a huge cycling event where people do even come here throughout the year to practice, they've got their dogs trained. They couldn't not have them trained. If they were out chasing cyclists, they'd be getting complaints real fast. I'm sure there's city ordinances here. We are headed out of the city. We are headed out. Headed out of the city of Wichita Falls. It's a big city though, it takes a while. Got a big horse right over here, paint horse. He doesn't want to pay any attention to me whinnying at him once we hit the gravel up here. So this is where we turn. We're on Reynolds Street, crossing Hickory. All right, so once you get up here, there's no other option but to turn off of Reynolds and onto Harold Street. Now we're going against the wind. Look at that big pit bull right there. You don't want him to be out on race day, but he looks pretty beefy and uninterested, not as interested as the little dog was in chasing our bicycle, this bicycle. Although this road, this stretch right here is paved, it's pretty narrow and unmaintained. The ditches aren't mowed or anything, so it's neat. A lot of tree cover still. Some funky smells right here. I guess the smell is coming from these big cisterns over here to the right. Kind of a sulfur smell. Whew. Some kind of petroleum pipeline facility. I'm sure you can see this on Google Earth, but this is what it looks like when you're riding past it on a bicycle. The headwind we're going into right now is a big crosswind component, so it's not that bad. So far. It can be really windy out here in the Wichita Falls region. You see that bag right there, shows you what the wind's doing. It's kind of going that way. And so here we are about to climb this hill. It's probably the biggest hill on the whole ride. All right. We're making it up that hill. There it is behind us. Not that bad. Blocking this property with an old boat and a bunch of junk. Blocking the gate to the entrance to the property. All right, now we're at the top of that hill, which doesn't seem steep to me right now because of the training I've been doing. But in 2019, it seemed pretty steep to me 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Okay, right here it turned to gravel. Oh no, we got a dog. We got a dog. Buddy back down. That's good. Snuck up on me though. It was just one dog, not a pack. But yeah, he was snarling and baring his teeth, and he rushed up on my heel. For me, you know, this is my artificial leg, so if he'd have bit me on this side, it wouldn't have been a problem. But the rest of you with real legs, y'all need to be aware of that possibility of them coming up from behind like that. So keep your eyes peeled, head on a swivel while you're still around all these houses. We're gonna turn right here, and as I recall, it turns to sand up here. There's some difficult sand and some just real loose gravel, but it may be different today. We'll see. We will see. A bunch of horses over here to the right. Gotta watch to the left though, because a dog could come charging out of there. Look at these beautiful horses. You sure are pretty. Oh yeah, y'all are beautiful. Look like wild horses. Okay, up here is where it turns to sand. I'm gonna look at my GPS. Okay, so see how right here it's just kind of turning to sand? Not problematic right now, but it seems like it's just a little, got just enough moisture to keep, well, now it is getting a little loose. So this shut, I'm telling you, in 2019 when I rode, I was in a pack with a bunch of people, and a lot of people got shut down just right here in this little stretch of sand. And I think that was, you know, I've got bigger tires. I run 2.25 inch tires. I'm on a mountain bike, but a lot of people had like road bikes with, you know, fatter tires than they were used to, but still too skinny to make it through just kind of basic sand. And this does seem to be packed down and have a little more moisture. Yeah, it definitely does have more moisture, more packed down. We've already made it through the sand that shut a lot of people down when I rode this in 2019. So it wasn't as bad today. I mean, it was just, it had not rained for a long time, and that sand was just like hourglass sand, real loose. And so, but that could be like that, you know. Like I said, gravel roads are different every day. They change with the weather and the season. So right now it's pretty darn passable. Okay, so it makes a turn right here. Okay, now I remember this section right here where the gravel turns dark. It shut a lot of people down in 2019. It was just left, I mean, just dropped on the road. And so this section of road back then was difficult to pass. A lot of people had to get off and walk right here. Now it's fine. So On race day of 2019, people were walking here because this gravel was fresh. It had just been put down and it was loose and it was deep. It was real deep, and so people were sinking in it. So now it's packed. It's been 3 years. It's been rained on, driven on. However, it is kind of washboarded. It's a little washboardy. So there's that. You're not just going to sail over it too fast without some suspension. Without a bicycle suspension system. I've got a Thudbuster LT seat post and rock shocks up in the front, so I'm pretty good as far as have as much suspension as I need to get over this washboarding, which I didn't have any suspension, at least not a seat post. I didn't have that in 2019, so better off now for sure. But I was dreading this section, y'all. I was really dreading it today because I remembered it from 2019, and it's not that bad today, y'all. Not bad at all. It is getting loose though. There's a few loose. It's looser now than it was back there. This is the loosest stuff that I've come across thus far on this stretch. But yeah, we made it. We're making it over it. It's kind of black rocks. It's like old ground up pavement. Like they tore up a road somewhere, the asphalt, they tore up an old asphalt road, ground it up, and dropped the rocks out here in the country on this road. So it's real fine gravel. Yep, there's a little old mud rut. I think you'd be just fine here even if it was kind of wet and rainy, but I don't know. I mean, the sand, it drains pretty well, so. Yeah, this would probably maybe turn to a little peanut butter if it was wet right here. It's not wet today. Rained a little bit last night actually, but not enough to soak in and change the dirt into mud. Yeah, in my van sleeping last night, thunder woke me up and I could hear the rain beating down on the top of the van. So now it looks like the pavement turns to just dirt and grass. Some deer tracks, wild hog tracks. But now it is just dirt and sand. Oh, real bumpy. Still a public road though. About 8 o'clock in the morning. Gotta go kind of slow because it's just so bumpy. Just, you know, it's sand. The road is pure sand. And it's up and down, up and down. You can't really tell, but it's like kind of like washboarding, but bigger and further spaced apart bumps. Yeah, we're out here in the sticks. All these wild animal tracks all over in the sand. Deer right here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to look out for wildlife. They probably see me, I just haven't seen them yet. But yeah, we've got wild plums. Looks like a good wild plum crop. On either side of the road, there are wild plums growing. They're not ripe yet, but boy, when they are ripe, wouldn't be a bad idea to get out here and pick them. They taste great, make good jelly or jam. Wild plums all right here, but over there off in the field, that's mesquite. Those are mesquite trees, so I'm watching out for mesquite branches. I don't want to, because they're thorns. They've got thorns all over those trees, so I don't want to run over a branch, get a mesquite thorn in my tire. This seems like a prime area to get a flat. I've never gotten a flat on this route. I've only done it once. This is the second time. Haven't gotten a flat, but I think that's just luck. But I run tubes. A lot of people run tubeless tires to avoid flats. No tubes in the tire, just a bunch of sealant, so it kind of self heals when you get a thorn. But I'm pretty good. I've got a patch kit and and an extra tube, and I'm just pretty good at fixing flats. So that's what I do, is I run tubes instead of going tubeless. All right, so now we've taken another turn. This road is a better traveled gravel road. Went up a little hill, still got plums all over in the ditch. These plum trees are pretty small, but they've got plums growing on them. Climb. Now we're at the top of this little hill. So we've gone 9.15 miles so far. And this is still the introductory gravel course. But I remember thinking when I did this in a race for the first time that the introductory gravel course was the toughest gravel on this course. So it may be tougher further out there at mile 50. Who knows today? Like I said, it's a changing dynamics. Gravel can be hard. Difficult section one day may be easy another day, and then an easy section one day may be difficult another day. Kind of windy, but it's a beautiful morning, y'all. Beautiful morning. A little cloud covering that sun, protecting us from its rays, the direct sunlight, which probably ought to wear sunscreen on this ride. Normally, like, I should have worn sunscreen, but because you're going to be going into the night, if you do it on race day, Grava Del Fuego, you will not really need sunscreen. We got a big crosswind, and we're gonna start heading into the headwind. A high game fence up here where we turn right or just follow the road to the right. But right there, that's a pretty high fence, high game fence. We got deer in there. I don't see any of them, but I know they're in there. coming upon a paved road. You don't want to get T-boned up here, so definitely look both ways before you cross. Sure enough, we got a car coming, so. Nice big road. You just gotta watch. There's no blind corners, but if you're not watching and paying attention, there might as well be blind corners. You're gonna get smacked. All right, now we're on. Continuing on the gravel. All right, we got a dog up here. Sees me. Better not attack me. Seems to be behind a fence. Yeah, I got a dog hanging out right here, so I don't want it to chase me. I get my horn. It looks like a pit bull mix. Oh. Stay back. Yeah, that's a pit bull mix. He wanted to come charging up, but I blew the horn at him. That convinced him to stop and back off. So that's good. I don't like it to escalate beyond that. He's got a fence. This is a Great Pyrenees right here. Now we got a little bit of pavement. Pavement starts exactly 11 miles into the ride. Little section of pavement. Water tower over there says Dean, so I guess we're in Dean. Around Dean. Just climbed a big hill and 11 and a half miles in. Yeah, we're close to Dean. Dean, water tower is there, but Dean, the community, is further off that way. We're gonna go up a little ways, turn right, fight the headwind a little bit, continue east. Then we'll have a good tailwind all the way to Petrolia and Bayers before we have to fight it again. So. Ray Road. Now it's pretty poor quality pavement. Chip seal, old chip seal right here. Potholes and gravel on top of it. Bulldogs back there. They're behind a fence. And now we're going to get on a busier paved road for a little while. I think we'll turn left up where this car just got onto the road up there. So here we go. Yeah, so Pitts Road is just under 14 miles from the starting line. We're still on a section that we'll have to backtrack, but it has turned to gravel, and it's gonna stay gravel for a long time. And this is where the gravel race really, you know, in addition to what we went, that little section back earlier on that ranch road, in addition to that little section, this is where the rest of the gravel begins. Got a lot of washboarding. Real good washboarding right there, classic. See how it's so bumpy? That's something that hasn't changed in the 3 years since I last did this course. Red Rock Road right there. That, I can't remember if that's where we actually no, that's not where we turned. I mean, my course today says we go straight, and that's the same as the course was in 2019 and will be probably this year. I know it was the same in 2021. But Red Rock Road, we're gonna run parallel to it. A lot of people live on Red Rock Road though, and those people will come out. What they did in 2019 is they made their own rest stop for us. A water stop. There's a lot of people, just good-hearted people, you know, for the first year of the race. They may continue to do it, but they were all out here with water bottles cheering us on, giving us water, so that was nice. But we were out here on this road, and those people live on Red Rock Road over there. So now we got a tailwind, and we're gonna head north. We're almost about 15 miles in right now. Getting his lawn mowing in early. It's already heating up though. It's getting hot already, y'all. All right, climb this little hill. So just kind of mildly rolling hills in this area. Not a whole lot of trees once you get out of Wichita Falls. It's just beautiful. Wide open plains, but there are trees up ahead. But a lot of it's wide open space like this, which I didn't get to see. Like right now, it was pretty dark. Once you're 15 miles in, it's gonna be pretty dark. So by the time I got to this point in 2019 in the Grava Del Fuego, the official race, I couldn't appreciate that vast, expansive view that we're seeing right here. So I look forward to seeing what this course really looks like. I've never done it in the daylight. That's why, that's one of the reasons I chose to come out here today. It's just because I want to see what it really looks like. It's a shame when you ride a beautiful course at night, you know, and you don't get to see any of it. I suspect this is a beautiful course. That's what we'll find out. Yeah, right here is where the people of Red Rock Road were giving out water bottles during the last Grava Del Fuego race of the first one of 2019. So, but that's a development, that area over there. A lot of houses and development. Got a baseball diamond right there. That's pretty neat. Got wheat over here to the right, big wheat field. Going downhill at the moment with a tailwind. So we got a road up here to the right. It's where we're gonna come back. This is the point up here. This road is where the loop actually starts. So we're gonna go straight. The loop starts here, and then at this point, you know, you go around and you'll come back right here, and then you'll meet up and you'll backtrack the route we just did. So on we go. And at this point, it was pitch dark when I did the race in 2019. So we're getting to see things, scenery that I've never seen before. It was just dark and spider webs were across the road and snakes. And you know, all I could see was what my little headlamp could show me on these roads. Now we've got the sun to illuminate our way, and that's great. Luce Road to the left. L-U-E-C-K-E, Luke, I don't know how you pronounce that. A lot of mesquite trees out here. A lot of mesquite. In the darkness, I didn't know what they were first time I did this route, so it's interesting. We don't have many mesquite trees in Gainesville, in the Cook County, Gainesville area, whereas Clay County, it looks like that's what grows best here. Mesquite. Oh, we got some chickens in the road. These look like fighting cock chickens, like chicks, a mama with their baby chicks. And that's a fighting cock breed right here. Let's have a better look at these. Beautiful. Yeah, those are game chickens. They are bred for fighting. So I guess somebody does that around here. Maybe not. I mean, it's Texas, so not. I mean, you can raise them. You can raise them. They're beautiful chickens. I like them a lot. Uh-oh, look at this little dog. Uh-oh, he's trying to bite me. Small though. A bunch of little ones over here. Ugh. A bunch of little doggies. That's funny. Little dogs are kind of funny, but they can still bite you. You got to be careful. You don't want to get rabies from a little squirrel-sized dog because it jumped up and bit you. So you got to take them seriously. You got to just make sure they don't bite you. No, they're not going to maul you to death, but like I said, they could be carrying rabies or some kind of canine disease that you could get. Got a car coming up behind me. Let me get over here on this side, let them pass. If that's what they want to do. So I'm about 18 miles into the route. We got Watkins Road right here to the right. We're going to go on past Watkins Road. And we got a pretty good paved road right here. You're gonna cross this at night. You Grava Del Fuego racers, when you're doing this route, you cross this road at night, so really watch out. And then you'll just continue on the gravel at about the 18 and a half mile point of the Grava Del Fuego. We're at about mile 20 at this point. Mile 20. dog over here, rushing up on me. Yeah, that'll make you run in the opposite direction. Man, I'm hitting the loose spot on the gravel though, but that horn caused those dogs to do a 180 and run away, so that is great. Real loose right here, so don't take these turns too fast. You'll lay down on your side. Beautiful, all this shade under these mesquite trees. I think the mesquite trees are great. I'd like to get in there and just camp out in the shade. Oh, what's that? Okay, some kind of hawk just flew right over me. Really good cover for the deer and wild hogs, this mesquite is. Got a little bit of downhill and a really good stretch right here with a tailwind. I like this route, it's real pretty. I guess if you live here and you see this kind of terrain all the time, you might think it's boring and you might have the attitude that, well, yeah, you should just ride this at night because there's nothing to see. But where I live, it's a lot different. So this is a real treat for me to get to see this kind of terrain. Be on a gravel road like this, it's beautiful, I love it. So we're just finishing up a really neat little stretch of road at mile 22, and now we're going to turn right. Oh, some wild turkeys. Look at that. 3 wild turkeys. 2 there, 1 there. Oh, I gotta watch my traction here. It's so loose that I've gotta pay attention to the road. But yeah, we saw some wild turkeys. That was pretty cool. There's a long stretch of road on this route that has these big electrical towers. As we're heading towards Petrolia, Texas. It's not the most scenic stretch, but you can see a long way. See the cows out there grazing. Right now we're heading east. We're about to turn north. Just when you look at the map of this route, it looks kind of like a staircase. You're either going east or north, but you're never going northeast. You just go one way and then you turn and you go the other way, you turn again, switch between north and east, north and east. All right, now we're turning and heading north. Gonna go under these big power lines that we've been following for so long. Yeah, we're on at a pretty high point right now. You see all around.
Not quite up to the highest point on our right, but yeah, I can see way over there. But no matter how fast you are in the Grava Del Fuego race, it's going to be dark by the time you get to this point in the race, which is 24 miles in. So we're 24 miles in. We got about 10 miles till we get to Bayers, Texas, which is the midway point. We only take one more right before we're on the right course to go directly into Petrolia, Texas. Just got an old barn here to the right, old tin barn. About mile 25. It gets pretty loose for now, but you know, by the time race day comes, it'll be different. Gravel's like the weather, it just changes. It won't stay the same, especially in Texas where the weather always changes. All right, we're going to turn right up here. This road will take us straight into Petrolia. Wagoner Road, W-A-G-G-O-N-E-R, Wagoner Road right here, y'all. Oh, there goes a wild turkey. Here goes another one, wild turkey. Got a longhorn cow right there. Well, no, it's not a longhorn. It's got horns. But it sure is close to the road. Now, something's crossing the road up in front of us. I think it's a turtle. It looks like a turtle. Yeah, because there's a pond. There's a pond over here. So let's see what kind of turtle we've got crossing the road in front of us. Probably a red-eared slider. Yeah, that's a water turtle, big red-eared slider. Stop for a second. See that? It's a big one, big turtle. But yeah, we're coming on into Petrolia. I'm gonna keep going because I haven't run into any traffic yet on this road. That turtle will be across the road before any cars come. I don't feel like I have to move it. He'll move his own self fast enough. All right, here we go. Here's a pavement. I like this greenhouse they have over here. Look at that, really cool greenhouse. Yeah, they like to garden. Looks like maybe some kind of garden plants that grow on vines, or that are vines that grow on trellises or fences. Yep. School zone when flashing. Or slow the speed when flashing. It is a school zone. Petrolia High School. That's what we got on the right over here. Looks like a good track and field complex over there and football stadium. Attention, please be aware that the staff at Petrolia ISD are armed and may use whatever force necessary to protect our students. Well, I applaud Petrolia. That's good. It's good that they take protecting their students seriously. Not every school does. Not every school does. All right, so we're gonna turn right here, just past the Petrolia High School. Right here. And there's that sign again. Attention, please be aware that the staff at Petrolia CISD is armed and may use whatever force necessary to protect our students. It doesn't say certain staff members, it just says the staff. That's pretty neat. I mean, it's serious, you know, people, they need to take protecting children seriously. This country does, and they do. They're setting a good example, in my opinion, because I mean, look what's happening in this country. People, you know, how bad can it get? I mean, can it get any worse? Yeah, it can always get worse, but it's pretty bad when people are walking into elementary schools to shoot as many children as they can, and then the police can't make it there, or they take forever to get there, and then when they do get there, they don't want to go in and confront the shooter, and they want to call federal backup agents that could be hours away. So yeah, it's a frustrating world we live in. That's why I like to get out on these gravel roads and not think about it. But you know, you get little reminders like that, seeing a sign like that. So now we're climbing. It's pretty loose right here, pretty washboarded. Something's crossing the road up in front of me. I think it's another turtle, judging by the pace. Yeah, I don't want it to get flattened by this tractor behind me, but it's about across the road. It's right here. So yeah, little box turtle. Well, I might pick him up just to get him off the road, out of the way of this tractor, because he doesn't understand the danger he's in. Come on, little turtle. Come on, little turtle. Cool. There he goes. All right, he's out of danger's harm's way. I'd kind of like to take him home and show him to my kids, but I didn't bring anything extra to put him in. I don't have any space. No space on the bicycle for a passenger. All right, I probably ought to get over as much as I can and let this big piece of equipment pass. So here's a pretty big sized hill for this route. It's pretty steep. It's the biggest one probably on the gravel, or steepest one in the whole course. It's just north of Petrolia. And it's not as big as that first one on the pavement that I was talking to y'all about earlier, that we climbed together. It's not as big, but it's probably as steep, if not a little steeper, especially right there, you know, right before you get to the top. It's pretty steep. Got some interesting rock formations and erosion around this hill. Mesquite trees and rocks. Pretty big cactus right here. That's a no joke cactus right there. Look at that little lizard. See that little lizard right there? He's outrunning us. Yeah, a little lizard. But yeah, that cactus is no joke. It has really long thorns. I remember that hill, but I never saw the scenery when it was dark, and I did this route the last time, so I like the scenery. Oh, there goes a lizard. Getting real close to bears now, so I gotta figure out where I turn next. Is it here? No, it's not. Gotta go a little further up. It's not on a Dare road, A-D-A-I-R. Keep going, still on, well, we're on Dobbs Creek Road. That's what we've been on for a while. Coming into Bayers, Texas. They've got some oil production like this over here. Gas, that's a gas line. All right, we're gonna turn somewhere up here. We are in Bayers, Texas, and I've never seen it in the daytime before. Never have. Pretty little Australian cattle dog right here. You are a pretty boy, pretty girl. So, got some unoccupied houses over here to the left, but I'm supposed to turn right here. Nobody living in that house. All right, we're just gonna go through Bayers for a while. This garden right here, wow. These people in Bayers, Texas have an awesome garden, and I get to see it up close because they planted it right next to the road. That's pretty cool. Yes, you can get away with that in this town. A lot of places people come steal your produce, but they can watch it, and it sure looks nice. So right here, this old school here, I don't know if it doesn't look like it functions anymore. But this is where, I got a car coming up from behind. Right here is where they have, this is the halfway point where they had the water station. In 2019, they set up the water right here, and I went knocking on doors over here. So this is where I was supposed to be able to load up on water, but I had to fill it up with a water hose in 2019, fill up my water bottles. Let's see, where do I turn? Do I turn there? No, I keep going straight and turn up ahead. So I guess in Bayers, Texas, they send their kids to school somewhere else, because this whole facility over here to our left has obviously been shut down. Church looking building over there. Streets of Bayers, Texas. Got some squash plants growing. Some big old onions in this yard. Big onion plants. I'd like to just tour all through Bayers. I like that storm shelter right there. That's a serious storm shelter. Yeah, I'd like to zigzag through all these roads, but I'm just passing through, y'all. It's a halfway point. Got to cross this main street here, which is a busy Texas highway. Main street in Bayers, Texas. A lot of stuff, old buildings, historic buildings down there. And here I go on through the town. So I'll be turning right up here. There's a nice little gravel street through town. Right down there we've got some horse trailers. Nice little swimming pool in their yard right there. Beware of the dogs sign. Yeah, we're gonna leave town on this gravel road right here. Now I'm fighting the wind, so I'm gonna be fighting the wind for a long time, y'all. But that's just part of it. I've had a tailwind for a while now. Katie's Kids Camp. Ah, this wind is really hitting me. At least I got a bit of a downhill. Katie's Camp Trailer. Never heard of Katie's Kids Camp. Till today. Right here at mile 35 is a place where if you're not paying attention, you go straight, but you need to turn right on Sand Rock Hill Road. Hill Road right here, baby. Fighting the wind. Heading straight into the south. Heading south into the south wind. and Rock Hill Road. That wind, you can see from the grass that I'm going against it for sure. This stretch of road really feels long because you can see the whole thing, like from way back there where I was, you can see all the way up there where I can see right now. I mean, there's just a lot of clear, vast scenery, and the roads that you're riding on, they're part of that scenery as far as the eyes can see. At night, you wouldn't know that because you can't see that far. But I'm telling you, it just goes on and on out here. Living the good life, cows? Are y'all living the good life? Y'all like that wind? A lot of them are hunkered down, trying to stay out of there. Which is about the best thing a cow can do out in the field. There's no other form of shelter than just hunkering down. This is a very long stretch of road, and to have a headwind for all of it is tough, but we're about done with this stretch. Now it's going to turn to the left, and then it's going to turn to the right again, and we're still going to be going into a headwind. Still on a pretty long stretch, but this particular continuous stretch of gravel road is about to be over. Once we get over this hill, we'll be able to see the end of this road, I believe, judging from the map. All right. State Highway. Dunn Ranch right here. We're gonna head this way for a while. Chip seal, it's pretty rough. This chip seal might as well be gravel, it's so rough. It'll start to smooth out right here. Doing good, doing good. Now it's mainly crosswind. Just a little time to rest. Recover from that long stretch of fighting into a headwind. These mesquite trees just don't stop. It's either open fields like we have on the left, or it's covered in mesquite trees like we have on the right. They do provide a lot of shade though. It looks like a really neat little area under those trees. Good cover for wild hogs and deer. A little brushy for humans, you know, because those trees, they don't just go straight up. They go up and then they go out real close to the ground, so it'd be hard to just walk around. But you know, if you maneuver and duck down and work at it, I think you could get through there pretty well. No cars coming. It's just me out here on this road, on this lonely highway. Taking this turn, it goes pretty slow. You got to be careful not to go straight back there and end up on the gravel again. You know, you've got to take this turn all the way before you get on the gravel. It will turn to gravel, but not there, further up here. Right now we're at mile 40, so when you start approaching mile 40, you should be on pavement at mile 40. Going around a turn, going around a bend, where you will be headed south once you're done going around the bend. However you pronounce that, that's the road we're getting on. There should be another rest stop here. There was in 2019. They set up a rest stop right here. And I went right past it, but if you need it, it's there. They've got water. You'll be right here. Pull up here and check on my devices. We're in front of the Testarossa Ranch. Testarossa. Make sure my camera's still working. It is. Lens is clear. All right. Keep going. past mile 42. You'll be heading south. You probably have a headwind like I do. And then the gravel will end and it will turn pavement for a while. Just get on the pavement, keep going straight. Watch for traffic here. You don't want somebody to come up and slam into you coming from behind at night. You gotta have your blinkers on. Old Lone Star Road. This is where we're gonna turn right. It's not very far after we get onto the pavement. It's gonna seem far if you got a headwind, but it's probably like right at mile 43. This intersection is called Hurnville, H-U-R-N-V-I-L-L-E, Hurnville. I'm not sure why, but that's what it says on Google Maps. Hurnville is right here. Maybe that's the last name of the people who live right over here, or maybe there used to be a significant unincorporated community that no longer exists right here. But this is Hurnville, and then when you hit Hurnville, start heading west. It feels real nice if you've been fighting that south wind, because you know you won't be fighting it for a while. It'll be crosswind on this road. So it's gravel, it's looking good today, and now we're heading west. Another gate right here to the Testarossa Ranch. Got some big chunks of rock right here, pretty rough gravel. That's just because it's been newly added to the road. This gravel has just been dropped here within the last few weeks, maybe a month or two. It's pretty new. This area probably has in common with Emporia, Kansas, where I'll be next Saturday, is the lack of trees. From what I understand, you know, there's more hills, but in Kansas you've got rolling hills and grass and cows, not a whole lot of trees. So certain areas of this route are like that. They just don't have many trees at all. Just fields that go on forever. Grass and cows. And you go past these big electric lines again, go under them at a different point along the route. This is really a lot different than I visualized it, you know, going at night. I didn't know what it would be like here, but you gotta focus on this loose gravel going downhill. But yeah, a neat area. We're pretty isolated right now. We're pretty out in the middle of nowhere. pretty far away from the rest of the world right now. At mile 45 and a half, we come upon this paved road. You gotta cross it, be careful. There's a car coming right there. Don't want to get smacked here while you're not paying attention, so. And then cross it and back on the gravel, still heading west. Mile 45 and a half. Turns and heads south just for a little ways, and then we'll head west up there. It's just a little S in the road, really. So we are at mile 47, making good progress. All right, looks like we got a big Charlet bull up here on our right, up at this corner under the tree. Beautiful big Charlet bull. Oh, he's gonna run away. I was hoping he'd let us have a good close-up look at it. There he is. Charlet bull, Charlet, and some Angus cows. Dead coyotes on the fence right here. You see a long way right here, so I mean, if there was a coyote out there and you had a gun, a long-range rifle, you could have a pretty good coyote hunt out here and see a long way. The south wind for a while. This is a pretty long stretch, not nearly as long as the other one, but we're at mile 48 right now. And we'll just head south for a while, and then we'll head west again. But we won't have any sections that head straight south that are any longer than this from this point on, past the 48-mile mark. Nothing to stop the wind out here. Nothing at all. Gotta be strong. You gotta have confidence and no quit in you to handle this kind of headwind. When there's no trees or anything to block it for you, you gotta fight it. Never let up on it, because it won't let up on you. Another big red-eared slider right there. Still headed south. The headwind really didn't feel that bad. I think it's because we got down low here, kind of low between these trees, but once we go up over that hill over there, it'll get pretty bad. Real low area around here, boggy area. I noticed when I came through here at night, I heard wild hogs, snakes were out in the road. You hear a lot of wildlife around here. So this is kind of an area where you really feel it, like you feel like you're way out in the middle of nowhere. You feel alone, unless you're with somebody, but when I did this stretch at night, I was by myself. I felt pretty alone with the wildlife right there. Got this little climb to do. Mile 50 right here. We've been heading south for a while, at least 2 miles. And now we turn right, head west. Get some more relief from that south wind. As a crosswind now. Mile 50. We got about 17 miles to go. Although I have a big 1-gallon jug on the back of my bicycle full of water, I probably won't even tap into that. Probably won't need to. I think my water bottles will get me all the way to the finish line at this rate. So it is getting hot though. It's gonna be 100, it's a 100-degree day, not up to 100 yet, but it's getting there. So that wind kind of creates the illusion that it's not so hot, because, you know, it's like having a fan on you on a hot day. It dries out that sweat pretty fast, but it is getting hot, and the temperature's going up fast. At mile 52, we come to this intersection in the gravel roads. 2 roads come across. Brody Road, we're still going to stay on the road we're on, but we're crossing Brody at mile 52. Got wheat field to the left, cattle pasture to the right. It's getting hot. It's heating up fast, y'all. At mile 53, we've got another gravel road to cross right here. And we don't have much more to go until turn south again, fight that south wind. So now we're back on the route that we're backtracking. At this point, we've been here. We're at mile 54, and we've been on this road. We already made the loop, but we've got to backtrack all the way back to the start. This should be the last big section of southbound road. At this point, we're east of Wichita Falls now. So up here at this curve up ahead, when we turn, we're gonna have crosswinds pretty much all the way back to Wichita Falls. Better than headwind. All right, rounding the curve, heading west. At this point, we've gone 55 miles. So just over, we got about 12 miles to go, over 10 miles. Now, as windy as it is, I mean, it's a great training for me. It's like going up a hill when you're going into the wind, but when you actually do the Grava Del Fuego race at the end of August, it's gonna happen at night, and so you probably won't deal with as much wind, but you might, you know, you never know, but generally wind dies down at night. So if you're lucky, you won't have to fight that big headwind that I just had to fight coming back from the north heading into the south, heading directly south, that portion of the route. It's tough into a headwind. But you know, if you got a tailwind or if you don't have a headwind, that's actually a pretty easy section. Here we are at Red Rock Road. I'll never forget the good people of Red Rock Road, how they all came out with water bottles for us in 2019 before the pandemic. Sure is a washboarded out bumpy road right here. That's why I feel better off just getting almost in the ditch over here to ride. So bumpy. Here we are at mile 56, and the pavement pretty much ends right here. But we still got about 10 miles to go, and some of these roads are pretty rough even though they are paved. We got to get back into downtown Wichita Falls, because even though we're at mile 56 and a half, we got to cover 67 miles, and that is the Grava Del Fuego, the longest of several options. I love these irises. They've planted all these irises in their flower beds. I bet they're different, all kinds of different colors when they bloom, or maybe they're all the same color, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get back on Ray Road right here. Turn left on Ray Road. All right, at mile 57, we get on this busy state highway right here, and we just head west. Farm implements along the road right here. Horse-drawn implements. Some of the first engine-driven tractors right here, just kind of rotting into the ground as decoration. So we're backtracking our course. And at mile 59, you're going to be really tempted to turn right up here onto this gravel road. And when I did this race in 2019, a group of guys did that. They turned right on Evans Road right here at mile 59. They followed that white truck. And what happened was they didn't make the cutoff time, and I almost followed them. As a matter of fact, I did follow them for a little ways. And then I turned around, and I didn't have, you know, I memorized the course, but once you've gone 59 miles, it's hard, you know, especially when you see other people in front of you, you're following them, and they like, if they go down that road, which those guys did, then they end up going back on that gravel that we went on at first, which is fine, but that's not the Grava Del Fuego course. The Grava Del Fuego course is to only go that way on that road on the way out, and then on the way back you bypass it by staying on this pavement right here and just continuing straight. So don't get fooled like I almost did. If I had followed those guys, then I would have never been the first above knee amputee, or maybe I would have been the first above knee amputee to finish the Grava Del Fuego. To my knowledge, no other above knee amputee has ever done it, but you know, I did finish and I beat the cutoff time. So even if I hadn't beat the cutoff time, I still would have finished, and that would have been an amazing accomplishment. But it means more to me when I can say, yeah, I even beat the cutoff time. So, but you know, I just appreciate being able to say that, knowing that I beat the able-bodied cutoff time. But yeah, this is the Grava del Fuego course as it was in 2019 and in 2021. I don't know what it's going to be this year. It may go in a different direction, but the only 2 years that it's existed, this has been the course. So when I say go straight, I mean go straight. You're going to cross this paved road right here. You may have to stop and wait for traffic. You don't want to get smacked by like this car because you're in too big of a rush. What's really dangerous is what's behind us though, because it's kind of a blind corner. Got an 18-wheeler here. Just gotta be real careful right here. Now we've got some more gravel, but we're still going straight towards Wichita Falls, going west. Get back. Yeah, I understand. I'm just watching this fire truck. I'm not worried about the dogs. Thank you, though. All right, y'all take care. A lot of dust right there. All right. A lot of activity all at once, you know, the dogs, the fire truck, the wind, the gravel, the washboarding. It can all, you know, all at once kind of come together, create a distracting and stressful environment sometimes. But the dogs were, you know, they weren't too bad. Obviously I was able to blow the horn and scare that one that came up close to me back to his owners. So no big deal. No harm, no foul. That's the way I see it. Uh-oh, we got some pit bulls right here. Not good. Pit bulls, y'all. Pit bulls. Haha, look at them go. That's good, you know. That's what you want to see in a pit bull. You want to see it run like its life depends on it, away from you and not towards you. They're running away. Now hopefully they don't turn around and want to attack when they get to their own home in their own territory. Sometimes they'll do that. They'll run back to their own yard and then they'll stand their ground and then maybe charge out into the road where we have to be, you know. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The horn really got those pit bulls running in the other direction. So they are scared of me. Yeah, that's good. They're running scared now. And now what I'm seeing up ahead is smoke. So hopefully it's not something that's gonna mess with my lungs, you know. I don't want to get tired, like burnt rubber smoke in my lungs or anything, you know. Yeah, we got a fire. Well, I need to sit around and wait for it. I don't know. We got some kind of big fire here, and this wind, it's not helping. we'll see what we got. It may be a house, it may be a barn, it may be a brush pile, who knows. But the fact that fire trucks were coming real fast means somebody thought it was an emergency. Oh, stunk. It does stink, y'all. I can't see the actual flame. Yeah, there is a fire back over there, and the smoke is moving this way, but we got past it. Whatever it is, I mean, if it was summer, if this grass was dry and dead, I would be like way more concerned than I am. So we passed it. On we go towards Wichita Falls. So we're about at mile 62. We're just gonna cruise on down this hill. Stink. Pew! Petroleum pipeline facility. Nasty smell coming from there. See, these mesquite trees make good trees if they can get big, like they are, like that one in the yard. And this one right here. That big statue of a horse, big caballo in the front yard. We're coming into town. Remember those murals to the left? We're gonna turn right on Holland Avenue right here. Flood, F-L-O-O-D, right here. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We're in the home stretch, y'all. Not quite, but sort of. A bunch of people hanging out over here. A bike lane right here. We go back under the railroad right here. bridge and we can go right under. So now this is Indiana Street, and we really are in the home stretch right here. The road is really wide. And wouldn't you know it, I got a headwind. Straight up headwind right now. So here we are back at this pub. Back at this pub. So the finish line will be right here, y'all. It'll be right here. And this is where you'll celebrate. And everybody will celebrate you finishing this Grava Del Fuego, 67 miles. We just did it. Congratulations to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. You made it 67 miles with me on the Grava Del Fuego gravel course for the Wichita Falls Hotter Than Hell 100 weekend. So today's May 29th, 2022. It's really hot. 100-degree day, probably a record-breaking day. Remember, when you do this route, if you do it in the race on Hotter Than Hell weekend, most of this route's gonna be at night. You won't be able to see the scenery we just saw. So keep that in mind. All right, y'all have a great day. Take care. And be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can join me on more adventures like this one. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.